Hello and welcome back to Heiner Builds Your Ride. Today we've got another Troopy here and we've done our usual thing. We've put electrics in it, but before I get into all the details, let's roll the intro.
Compressor, the ARB twin piston compressor with a 4-litre tank underneath. So the tank's mounted in there, so it's all hidden away, so when the draw system's all back in there, you've got your ARB compressor with tank all built in. We installed in here the Duetto 10-litre hot water system with the high flow pumps in there, just so they can have a nice warm shower whenever you're out and about. We're going to have a couple of outlets in the gull wings and everything as well, for shower outlets so they can plug in and have a shower.
If you have a look at the front of this vehicle, we've decided to go with the Hella Rock 380 spotlights, which are still the most solid lights that we have got in our arsenal of lights. We've also put a Sherpa winch in here and the GME 2.1 dB gain aerial right here on the bull bar. We like installing these onto the bull bar because the whole bull bar itself acts like a ground plane, which is like a natural amplifier for this whole installation. There's also something that is really important to know when you install these aerials. If you have a look, you have to allow a little bit of room on the bottom here. So when the aerial moves, the cable actually pulls in. If you have got this really tight, you rip out the cable inside the aerial. It's something that happens quite often if they're not being installed properly. Under the bonnet, we've swapped out the start battery for a Sentry Overlander starting battery, and we've put our second Get Home Safe battery in. As you can see, we're always using these twin battery terminals now. The cool thing about these is it gives us a lot more room to install our extra wiring, especially in a setup like this, where we need a winch hooked up, we need a secondary battery hooked up. It becomes really crowded at the battery terminals, but this helps us to keep it quite clean. We've put an isolator in here. This is to power the winch on and off. We use proper truck isolators. These are rated to 300 amp continuous current. That makes sure that these will actually live over the years and don't break once the winch has been used, which can happen if you have these flimsy plastic winch isolators. What happens is, after you've winched once or twice and you've winched for a bit longer period of time, they get so hot that the spring-loaded contacts will simply be pushed apart, and next time you want to use your winch, it simply doesn't work anymore. So if you got one of these really cheap battery isolators, make sure you exchange them for proper ones, otherwise your winch might stop to work when you need it the most. For these batteries here, we have now made a kit that you can actually purchase from our web shop perthpro.com.au. We call it the Get Home Safe Kit, and it's got the battery terminals in there. It's usually got one of these for the positive as well. It's got all the pre-cut cables, and down here, very hard to see, we've got the Redarc SBI 12 smart solenoid. So the kit that we've made for it has got the positive cable from that battery to the SBI12. It's got the negative cable directly to the battery, and then a positive cable from the SBI12 to battery positive here. So that way, if you want to install your own Get Home Safe kit, it's quite easy with that, but they are only for the 70 series. And then we've done something else here as well, because usually this is the factory accessory fuse box that is generally mounted over on that side, but it gets quite cramped there. So we've made a bracket that we're probably going to sell in the future as well, so that we can mount this accessory fuse box on the side here, which allows us for very neat install of extra accessories, because these are already labeled driving lights, and that's where we put the fuse for the driving lights. In the future, if extra accessories are being installed to the start battery, it can all go to this fuse box, which keeps that side a bit less cluttered. Obviously, we've got our MIDI fuse holder here as well. That is the power supply that's going directly to the DC hub. That's it under the bonnet. Let's have a look to the inside where the real magic happens. There's not too much in here. We've got our two-way radio connector right here, so that if you want to use your two-way radio, you can just plug it in. That's it, and it works when the accessories are on. And if you don't want to use it, you just leave it in the glove box, so you don't have any cables hanging around. This here is also the battery link button. As soon as you press that, both batteries get linked together, and you can start off two batteries, or you can winch with two batteries. We've also got our water heater switch in here, and of course our work lights. These are left hand, right hand. So this left hand, this is right hand, and this is the rear work / camp light. I'll show you the lights later. Then we've got a little bit more here on this side. We've got a Redarc Tow Pro controller installed here, so that heavy trailers can be towed with this vehicle as well. Then we've got a driving light switch that's for the Hella Rock 80 driving lights, and the ARB air compressor that we've got installed gets controlled through here. Obviously is running through the lithium battery. Let's get to the back of the car. How good is that for camping setup? That's it, you could sleep now. The gang at Odyssey Custom Fitouts has done a superior job on this thing again. It's what you guys have seen before. We've got the little camping table in here, which is such a cool place to store a table, I think. And then we've got some storage here, very long drawer actually, and an upright 85-liter Bushman fridge. This is quite a nice location for it, but I've found that if you have an upright fridge inside a driving compartment, these can be a bit noisy because this stuff seems to rattle a bit. I've just recently encountered that. Easy way around it, I've put a little bit of Sikaflex, white Sikaflex in the front here, so if you got the same problem, it got rid of all the rattles coming from an upright fridge. We've got a drink water outlet right here. You can plug your drink water connector in here, turn the water pump on right there, and then you can still close the door. So with this, you can actually still keep it plugged in when you're camped up and fill up your drink bottles if you have to, even while the back doors are closed. These are the work lights I just talked about before. These are the Lazerlamps Utility 25 with the amber covers. These make for a very nice campsite because you get not exactly the same, but roughly the same light, a little bit more yellowish than you get from a National Lunar Lights, but you don't get any bright white lights. So They are also in the front left-hand side and the front right-hand side of the vehicle. Can't see them from here. And they are the lights that you can control from the dash and also from remote controls that are on the key itself. And the customer is probably going to keep the second remote control up in the tent. So if they want to see what's going on around the car at night, they can just use the remote control, turn the lights on and off. And this is the camera for the rear view mirror. So when you look into the monitor in the front, you can see it right here out of the window. We've also used one of our brackets that we make for the 76 and for the 78 series rear doors to mount our National Lunar Light, which is dimmable in 3 stages, and you can change in between orange and white light. Furthermore, in here we've got our control panel right up here. We've got the Cerbo GX in here with the Touch 50 screen. And as you can see, inverter's off at the moment. Let's turn the inverter on. See, this is the inverter control panel. The inverter can be switched on and off right here. We can see the state of charge of the battery. We can see our solar charger here, which is only doing 19 watt at the moment. This car's only got 120 watt roof solar panel and it's quite cloudy today. We also got the DC system drawing about 16 watt roughly at the moment. And the cool thing is, this unit hasn't got a multi-plus installed in it. That's why you can't see any shore power. This is only a 1200 watt Victron inverter. But you can still connect it to the Cerbo GX with the VE Direct cable. And you can still see all the stats of the inverter on the display. So when I turn it off, you can see that it's switching from inverting back to off. So you can also monitor the state of your inverter right here on the panel. And then you still get a few accessory sockets and also some USB, including USB-C sockets right here. They are fast chargers as well, so they've got a combined wattage of 45 watt for both outlets, which helps a lot with charging. And then you've got your 240 volt power board just sitting up here, so you can plug things in like your laptop or whatever else you might have. The 1200 watt inverter from Victron will also run up to a small sandwich press for 2 pieces of toast, which makes it very handy. This is also quite a nice storage area here for all your big things like chairs, maybe some additional tables or whatever else you got in bulky storage items. Down here we have got the water heater and the pumping system right there. If you want to boost, you can actually plug this in. I think the cable might just be too short. No, hold on a sec. It will just fit. So you could run your water heater directly off 240 volt if you want to. The advantage of that is that that water heater has got a 300 watt heating element. I'll show you the water heater again. That unit here, the OSJ Duetto, it has got a 300 watt heating element on 12 volt, but it's got a 1000 watt heating element on 240 volt. So if you want to boost your hot water, you can actually plug it into the 240 volt and use the power from the inverter to charge your hot water up 3 times faster than you would through 12 volt. But if you remember while you're driving to turn on your hot water early enough, while you're actually driving along, you can just press the button on the dash, and when you arrive, you've got hot water. Other little features in here. This is quite nice. You can lift this up and extend your table at the same time. More drawers in here. And a little bit more storage area right on the bottom there. And of course, storage area in here. And more in there. Also a nice feature, because we are in Australia and it does get hot. We've got the Sirocco fans up the top here that can fold out. And they are obviously also usable once this bed comes down. You can have them sitting like this and blowing cold air into the tent, which can be absolute lifesaver in summer around here in Australia. You've also got lights here. They are integrated into the roof conversion already. There's another one on this side. They're like little reading lights that you've got. What we're going to do is, what we usually do here is we connect them to the lithium battery system. So you have got lights up here that are powered by a house battery system. I'll show you a bit more stuff on the outside. So here we've got a gull wing from Mission 4x4. That's Sean. He is here in Perth as well. He makes these very nice gull wings. I like the Molay panels that he puts on top. Gives it a bit of a military look. I quite like that. And we've got the alu cap shower awning on top here. And then this is where you've got your shower, and we've integrated the temperature control right here, which is quite a handy spot, so you can reach it from your shower and you can have all your shower utensils here. Plug your shower in here. You can turn the water pump on right there. We've got some light. I'm not sure if we got water in the tank at the moment. Sounds good. And you get some water. So you could shower, and then when you're done, you can just turn the water supply off right here at the shower. So you don't need to turn the pump on and off all the time, which is very handy while you're showering, because you'll be inside that shower cubicle. So all you do is shower, you leave it hanging, soap, and you got more water again. If anybody wants some more info on how showering in the bush works, have a look at Andrew St. Pierre White's videos. He's just recently done a triple X-rated version of him showering in the bush. Very funny, actually. There's another National Lunar Light right here. And you can also change the color on this to white as well if you want to. You just hold it for a little bit longer and it changes. One thing that is really important with these fittings that we use, before you disconnect them, turn the pump off, release the pressure, and only after that you do release the fitting, because this automatically seals, but this here, this side is open. So if there's still pressure in there, you will actually spray that all over the side of the vehicle. But if you do it in the right way around, you see there's one little drop, that's all. I'll put that back in here. Oh, we've also got this panel here that the customer has brought in. So in here you've got your compressor outlet to inflate your tires. You can connect your solar panel, and here you can fill up the 90-liter underfloor tank. It's another one of the side lights here. And then this vehicle has got the alu cap 270-degree awning, so that pulls out all the way around and then hooks in here and sits tight. There's another one of the Lazerlamps Utility 25 lights there, and on top there, as you can see, that's where the 120-watt roof solar panel sits. This is where the screen sits. This is the, so if you turn your accessories on, so the radio turns on, the rear view mirror turns on, and you can see out the back of the vehicle. And then when you turn it off, it turns back off. But our real electrical stuff obviously happens always in here. So what we've got is the 1200 watt Victron inverter right here. Then we've got our Egon DC hub mounted right here, easily accessible. All your circuits are fused and accessible right here. And then The electrics sit in here. So we got a separate roof solar controller. We've got the Redarc BCDC Core 40 for charging from the alternator. And that is also connected to the solar plug-in point. So when you're stationary, this unit will take care of charging from a solar blanket that can be connected in the back there. We've got our remote control receiver right here. That works together with these remote control panels that can turn the lights, the work lights on the roof on and off. We've got a 200 amp hour Amptron lithium battery in here. This is the smart shunt from Victron that is taking care of monitoring the battery state of charge and sending the information to the Cerbo GX, which then gets displayed on the Touch 50 screen. We've got a 30 amp Victron lithium battery charger in here. The cable is just sitting right here, so if you want to connect your vehicle to 240 volt, you just need an extension plug, plug it in, and it maintains your battery automatically. You can't really see a lot more in here. All the wiring and the plumbing going to the back there. And then you can just close it again. It would have room for another 200 amp hours of lithium battery storage, but this is not a very power hungry installation, so I think 200 amp hours will be plenty for this. And then you can use these and you can turn a light on. One will turn the front left hand on, two the front right hand, and three will turn the rear light on. And at the same time when you do that, you can see that here on the dash your control light comes on. So you know when the lights have been turned on and you're driving along. Or you can just turn them on and off from here. So I think this installation, I would say it's a basic system, but it's a very deluxe basic system. And it will make a very, very nice camping car, this one. The customers are gonna come around very soon to pick this up. I think for us, there's only one thing left to do, and that is to give it our patch of approval. This one here is now officially ready to drive anywhere. Thanks and see you for the next one.